Good afternoon. My name is Specialist Taylor, and today I'll be conducting an unclassified briefing about legal and the NCO leader. By the end of this presentation, it is my hope that newly promoted NCOs will be more aware of the legal aspects of their role as leaders. It would provide insight into the responsibilities that come with the job and act as a framework from which to base their actions. Let's start by looking at this old adage: NCOs are the backbone of the Army. Profound and irrefutable. They are present at every phase of a soldier's military career, from the time of enlistment all the way through to retirement. They are also the bridge between the issuing of a lawful order and the execution of that order. Without that bridge, that order is dead in its tracks. This highlights the need for their role to be lawful in nature. Having a legal foundation is necessary to gain the trust of three entities. That is, the American people, their superiors, and the soldiers that fall under their care. Today, I will highlight the legal nature of the NCO's role by exploring three legal characteristics. 1. The Army ethic. 2. The NCO's legal authoritative protection. And 3. Their direct contributions to legal services. The Army ethic. Consider the NCO creed. NCOs take an oath to not compromise their integrity nor moral courage. This means that the NCO should reject any order that is not in compliance with legal and regulatory authority. This shares ties with the integrity aspect of the Army ethic. NCOs must also show courage and moral fortitude to reject unlawful orders from their superiors. Failure to do so is a mark against honorable service. These features are all tied towards building and maintaining trust. A key word that I want to point out here is maintaining. It is much easier and better to maintain trust than it is to rebuild it, for rebuilding trust is like an uphill battle. This is simply for the fact that whatever might have damaged trust in the first place, that will always remain in history. On the note of history, take the Vietnam War, for example. We lost that war on two fronts. For one, we lost almost 60,000 soldiers during the war. Secondly, in the aftermath, trust between the American people and the military was at an all-time low, and it took years to rebuild it. This quote explains it all. Trust is like a paper. Once crumbled, it can't be perfect again. Trust is like a paper. Once crumbled, it can't be perfect again. This is simply for the fact that no matter how much I smooth this out, the cracks still remain. Overall, NCOs must show courage, commitment, and competence to the profession to uphold the Army ethic and stand against anything that threatens its trustworthiness. The Army recognizes this role, this significance, and has provided legal authoritative protection. This was done through the considerations found in the Manual for Courts Martial. Take Article 91, for example. Any soldier that disobeys a lawful order from an NCO shall be court-martialed. Additionally, protection can be transferred through the chain of command as well. Consider a unit commander. This unit commander issues a lawful order to a first sergeant. In doing so, they transfer their legal protection as well. Similar to Article 91, Article 90 protects commissioned officers from insubordination. Therefore, any soldier who disobeys the order of a first sergeant, they also disobey the commander's order. And in doing so, they are subject to be punished under not only Article 91, but Article 90 as well. So here we see an indirect benefit to legal protection by NCOs. NCOs also have a general military authority to take measures to maintain and ensure proper conduct of enlisted soldiers. In other words, they are charged with creating and maintaining a culture of discipline. Being aware of their legal authoritative protection will act as a means of instilling confidence in newly promoted NCOs in the execution of their duties. Consider the words of the late Floyd Filson, for example. He can inspire a group only if he himself is filled with confidence and hope of success. Let me repeat that. He can inspire a group only if he himself is filled with confidence and hope of success. Consequently, this leads us to legality and the relations between NCOs and their subordinates. We will look at this by examining their contributions to legal services. As mentioned previously, an NCO is present at every phase of a soldier's military career. During the early stages, it is very customary for NCOs to provide legal advice and guidance at an administrative level. They work with soldiers to ensure that all documentations are legally sound. For example, recruiters during recruitment and drill sergeants from reception and all the way through to graduation of initial individual training. This function is significant as it aids soldiers in knowing what they are agreeing to. There is also the NCO at retirement, the retention NCO. The retention NCO provides legal advice both to aid in retirement and, very key and significant, the retention of trained soldiers. The more soldiers the Army retains is the less it will have to spend to maintain readiness. Finally, the NCO also plays a role in the legal department of the Army, the JAG Corps. For example, the paralegal NCO. The paralegal NCO, through training at the JAG Learning Center and School, provides legal support to the Army personnel, their family members, and any other eligible personnel. Here again, we see very vital functioning and role playing by the NCO. All in all, NCO's contribution to legal services is vital in ensuring the effective functioning of the Army. This should also contribute to providing some sort of purpose to newly NCOs. To summarize this presentation, we discussed the legal aspect of the NCO leader as it relates to the Army ethic. As such, NCOs must uphold the Army ethic with competence and commitment. This is imperative in maintaining the trust of the American people, their superiors, and all soldiers that fall under their care. We also looked at their authoritative protection and how it is legal in nature. And a key benefit to all this is the confidence it instills in newly promoted NCOs and the execution of their duties. Finally, we looked at their direct contributions to the legal services of the Army and how it aids in the overall effective functioning. I hope that this presentation was substantive and provided some insight into the legality, responsibilities that come with being an NCO. There is a great weight and reliance that come with the job. Therefore, NCOs must be firm and have the commitment and competence and character to uphold the responsibilities, because now they're very much a part of the backbone of the Army. Thank you. Now I open the floor for questioning. Are there any questions for me? Thank you. That concludes my presentation.